Internet.
I think we're live now.
Oh, all right.
Here we go. And awesome. StreamYard at its finest this week, man. For the last 2 weeks, it has been awful. I hit all the buttons. I go to hit the launch, and it says can't connect to the internet. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're on the internet, and we're live. And here we are.
There we are.
Can't connect to the internet. We're on the internet, but we can't connect to it. It's fine.
Yeah, now we're live. And man, it is a stacked lunch show today. We're having a group lunch, little brainstorming party with my friend Kat and Cory. I'm the only one without a C. I guess. Kat, Kat, and Cory.
Why not?
Just drop the S.
Why not? It's a hard C.
Whoa, special guest. Yeah.
Yeah, I need help.
That's definitely special.
That's the only reason why I'm here.
So, yeah, I don't even know what we're going to talk about today, but we're going to have fun. It's lunchtime. We're taking a break from the workday. We're just taking a breath, getting to hang out with friends. Can't wait to do all that. I did want to tell you guys, I watched a movie last night that put me in a weird place. And it's a movie called Riff Raff. So it has Bill Murray and Pete Davidson and Jennifer Coolidge and Ed Harris, like tons of names, right?
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching the movie, but the minute it was over, I was like, what the hell just happened? And was it worth watching? But I enjoyed every bit of watching it. It just, when it ended, I was like, what? So I don't even know whether to recommend it or not, but I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I wanted to know what's happening next. And then it was over and I was like, okay, now what?
I feel like those kind of movies, the director's like, I don't know how to end this, so we'll just cut it off here.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the watching part of it. Just afterwards, I'm not like, wow, that was one of the best things or worst things I've ever seen. I just don't even know how to think about it.
What kind of role did Jennifer Coolidge play? Was she her usual?
Typical train wreck.
Yeah.
Alcoholic, passed out all the time. Yeah. You
sure it wasn't just an episode of The White Lotus that you saw?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's kind of a mob movie-ish.
Okay.
Not to give too much away. Kinda. But then it turns out it really is. You don't really know it totally is until it's over. And yeah. Anyway.
Netflix, Prime, Paramount, where was it?
We actually rented it because I had heard good things about it.
Okay.
Oh, Blockbuster.
Yeah, went to my Blockbuster video store. I was kind and I rewound it last night. Took it back this morning.
That's why we couldn't connect to the internet. We on that 28.8K modem.
Yeah, we'll dial up. But yeah, yeah. That was it. That's all I wanted to say. It's just a weird experience watching a movie. So, and we're watching lots of movies because Julie's still not able to get up without us.
Hey, I'm on a podcast. Can I talk to you later?
From her bed. Man, okay. What a train wreck. Man, this podcast is Jennifer Coolidge.
We are humming right along here.
Sorry, I meant to hit the red button and I hit the green button by accident, so I had to answer. It was my friend Mark.
Ken Walters, Kat, what kind of shampoo? Your hair looks outstanding.
Well, thank you. I used a little purple shampoo today, and I used my new styling wand from TikTok, so to give me a little Farrah Fawcett curls. I've been wearing my hair really curly the last couple of days, and today I needed to go smooth, even though it's raining outside. So thank you. I do have good hair today.
Tristan Patrick, what's with Cory's name? What rules didn't he read?
So the MFC qualifiers that are taking place right now, the second workout was 20-minute time cap, 2K row, and then 150 burpees over the rower. And I inputted my score when I got done. And then I saw some of the other people's scores when the leaderboard went live, and it did not make any sense to me because I didn't finish. And so they, put your score at whatever it was when you got done, and people had scores in there that were more like that got time capped, like I did, and had more burpees than what we actually did, which is supposed to be 150. Like the one I saw that stuck out to me was like 157. I was like, you can't get 157 burpees and get time capped if there's only 150 burpees in the workout. So I messaged them this morning, and turns out the row was worth 16 reps, which I did not read. Went ahead and glossed right over that. So it wasn't, basically what had happened was it wasn't hard enough as it was. I needed to make it more difficult to try to qualify. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut 16 reps off myself and just kind of roll with it through like that. I don't read rules well.
This is not the first time you have not read the rules.
No, it won't be the last either. I can pretty much promise you that.
So could you adjust your score? Were you able to?
Yeah,
adjust?
they let it down. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
A lot of people are. Mine hasn't moved yet, but I mean, I've moved on the leaderboard. My score hasn't been adjusted yet, but other people's have. So that's a good thing. No, I went to message them about it, and they were like, "Is it yours or somebody else's?" And I went to take a screenshot and I sent it, and they sent me a screenshot of the scorecard where it says 2K row, 16 reps, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't see that at all." And they were like, just email us at mfcscoring.com. And I was like, okay, cool. So I did that and just waiting on to readjust.
Andrew Sten wants to know, Kat, was that a guy on the phone?
Yeah, that was my friend Mark. We actually dated a million years ago, but he's a CrossFit coach down the road, and he and I give each other life advice. So, yes, just friends. Not
Nice.
one of my 8,000 dates.
Well, one thing I wanted to get to make sure we get to before lunch is over, and then we'll let it go off the rails again, is that in Dave's Week in Review, he announced that because someone made a comment on Dave's Week in Review named Cory, asked him to clarify a situation, and he did, and it was that the age group athletes could have in-person semifinals next year to qualify for the CrossFit Games. Very similar to what the elite athletes have this year, where we have these like 9 events where you can qualify, or you can do it on the in-affiliate semifinal. Looks like they're trying to do the same thing with masters and teens, and they have like 5 event organizers who would like to participate.
Sign me up. Let's go. Line us up like they do everybody else, and let's see. Don't give them, I redid this one 6 times. And no, line us up. And let's go. Let us qualify to get there. Use the open as a qualifier. Easy peasy. You made top 100. Cool. You can go to this one. If you can't go to this one, you can go to this one. Just like the individuals do. If there's enough of it, and still have the online court, just like the individuals do. It's going to cut down on that kind of stuff. You're only going to have a certain amount of people going from the online after you break it down, top 3 at this one, top 3 at this one, top 3 at this one, whatever. If you have 5 of them, that's 15. That's half the field right there. Then the top 15 from the online get to qualify. Let's go. Line us up and let's go.
And that's the example he used was 5 events, 3 spots each, half and half. So half from online, half from in person.
Yeah.
Lido asks a great question. Wonder how many in Europe. Thinking about it, I would think it would be events that have a community aspect to it as well.
Yeah.
Like if French Throwdown had a community aspect, you would have the elite qualifier and you would have the masters qualifier in the community event. I don't think maybe MFC would do something like that to get themselves back in the game.
Yeah.
But I don't really see like a totally dedicated age group qualifying event.
No, and that's fine. Like, I don't think, as someone who's actively trying to make the games, I don't think I care. Like, it doesn't have to be at MFC or it doesn't have to be at Legends. Like, if Mayhem wants to do a Masters category or whatever, Wilson Pack and them want to do, Pac when them wants to do a cool, let's go. Tell me how I sign up, tell me how I register, and let's go that route. I think the majority of us would much rather the ones that have legitimate scores on the board. Not that I'm poking fingers at anybody, but would much rather do it in person and see what we can do in person.
I think the stress of the online review is just insane. And I can't even imagine, like for a master's athlete, your whole season depends on video review.
And what else you got going on that weekend? Like for semifinals this year, I just didn't have that much time. I just didn't. Like life was also happening. And as it turns out, I have a career and kids and a wife and all that good stuff. So I did all of them once. That's all I had time for. Not that I would have jumped 40 people and made the games necessarily, but like what you saw was exactly what I had in me. That's all I had. So
I heard you say to me, if you didn't have all that stuff going on, you would have beat Jason Grubb.
With a stick, maybe. I know, Tristan. I'm sorry.
Wife and kids as an athlete, selfish, Cory.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I should have thought about that. Thought about being an athlete before I had a wife and kids.
Yeah.
It's probably whatever.
So I want to get Kat's thoughts because she has done event organizing with MFC, with the Green Beret Project, with things like that. She's been a judge. She's done online judging, all of that stuff. How much more legit do you think an in-person qualification is than an online?
100%. There's no comparison. Absolutely. You can get away with so much on online. And I mean, competition is meant to be kind of a one and done thing, right? You show up, you do your thing against other people. Like, I would much rather see that happen than have it be completely online like it is now.
Well, I think I was watching Boys Interrupted last night, which I will never do again when I'm trying to go to bed, because I stay awake until the very end because it is so damn entertaining. But they talked about the Brooke Wells situation. If she was at a live event and a judge would have called her out for those burpees, she would have corrected it and wouldn't have gotten a 3. She would have gotten at least a score higher than that, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, that's what sucks about the online thing, because you don't get that immediate feedback. My response to them is get a judge that will tell you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Legit, like get a better judge. I mean, Andrew Stendo reps people just for the fun of it.
Yeah. Even when they shouldn't be no repped.
Right.
Emma Carey, Granite Games,
Right.
2021.
Cost her the victory, the whole bit. Yeah.
I did. So
Andrew Sten says instant feedback from judges you know are qualified.
do you though?
But you do know there are some that are.
Oh, absolutely.
And you need this has been a 2-3 year fight. Emma was a legit no rep twice.
She's the reason. Yeah, you're the reason, Andrew, why she's not doing CrossFit anymore. I blame you for all of it. Just so you know.
100%. It's Andrew's fault.
All this promise, all this, and
yeah,
the emotional baggage of that no rep is
vaporized. Yeah.
But I do think you can control it. Like you've told me, Cory, you make sure that you have the 2 guys that you know will tell you you're doing the movement wrong.
They hold me to the standard.
You can't afford to skate by and hope that nobody finds it.
I'll put it to you like this. God, last night I did the snatch ladder workout for the MFC qualifier. Like at the last possible minute I could possibly do it. I can't see when I set my camera up to set it up like I wanted to. I have to flip it backwards. I can't see the timer. Even if I had it facing me, I mean, it's this big. I can't see the timer from where I'm standing. So I got my buddy Jeff, who's one of the first people that I would let judge me. And I said, look, I just need you to tell me, I got a minute to snatch, a minute to rest, 2, a minute, 3, whatever. Just call out times for me. Let me know when I can start and when I can't start. And the first thing he said was, you need me to know rep? I said, I'm just snatching. But I mean, yeah, if I don't come to the extension, like if I don't stand all the way up, call me. Yeah, please do. But that was his first question. Like, do you need me to make sure you're doing this correctly? Like, I can't put a price tag on that.
Right. Alito, who is a master's athlete in Europe, I think I'd probably end up doing both. I'm generally better online, the comfort of your own gym, and it's quite hard to come in first or second in a live comp. you may get third in what Dave Castro mentioned.
Yeah.
So top 3. And then she said, moving better and checking what can and cannot be seen on video before actually doing the workout solves most of these issues. Larry Young, Cory, what gets you in the gym when you're not feeling it? I'm legit scared to head out to the garage right now. Too many days off.
Motivation is bullshit. Discipline is everything.
Yeah.
Preach.
I mean,
do it.
Motivation comes and goes. Some days I'm like, yeah, let's go. And some days I'm like, all right, let's go. But either way, it gets done. It has to. The only thing that stops me from going over there is if I am legitimately hurt or cannot do, and it has to be where I cannot do anything. And I mean anything. Like if I can't squat, I can ski erg. If I can't run, I probably can bike. And if I can't bike, I can figure something else out. But 9 times out of 10, there's no motivation is nothing. That means shit. Motivation will leave you long after discipline is ingrained in you.
I'll tell you this, like in the last few weeks, months, just going out and starting to move, even if I'm not feeling it, like, hey, I'll just go out and get on the bike. And then I get on the bike and I'm like, oh, this is really boring. So let me pick up the sandbag and do some stuff. And at least then, like, I'm moving. And most of the times I actually then say, okay, let's do a Metcon. Just because it's much more fun than just sitting on a bike for an hour.
Those mornings where I'm like, I don't want to go, that's the first thing I'll do is get in there, put my stuff down, and go get on the bike and just ride for a couple of minutes until the same thing. Okay, my blood's moving. This is dumb. I'm just riding this bike for 3 minutes. Let me get off and go do what I'm actually supposed to be here to do. Yeah, absolutely.
Man, Lito, that's so catchy.
Someone should put that on a shirt.
Hogan. Just saying. I did use my new Adidas last night. They are very when lifting it, they are very supportive. I think they still need broken in a little bit to get to where I want them, but I do kind of like that. I do kind of like them. I think I like them. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I like them, but I think they need broken in just a little bit more.
Are they lifters or just regular?
Just regular. They're drop set.
Oh, okay.
They're called drop sets. This is drop set 3. Mm-hmm. They're on sale for $104 right now on their website. The women's colorways are awesome. The men's are kind of blah, but Cory found a set he thought were pretty cool looking.
The white and gum. Anything white and gum. I'm going to tear them up. I'm well aware of that. They're going to not be white in a very short order, but when they are clean, and you can text your bestie there, Kat, my wife.
Yeah.
Text Jennifer. We have I don't know where they found that, but a recipe to get white shoes back to almost white that we use.
I need that. I'll be talking to Jen later.
Lito says, I love my drop sets, but they definitely take some breaking in too.
Okay. Lito, have you run in them? That's my biggest question. Anything more than a 400? Because I'll buy some. I have no problem with that, but they look clunky. That makes sense? Like they look like.
So I thought they'd be heavy and they weren't.
Yeah.
Like when the Reebok X, like those were clunky, those were heavy.
Right.
I hated doing everything in them. These are lighter than that. Most of it is that like Kevlar fabric and the plastic cage. I thought they were nice. Kevlar,
so they're bulletproof.
Just the same thing that Reebok did with the 4s and 5s. No, 5s and 6s. 5s and 6s. Uh-oh. They're terrible for running, but I've yet to find a CrossFit show I like running more than 400 meters in.
That's also fair.
Yeah.
Vans. Or Vans for everything now.
I like the Rad Runners. They're pretty firm, but they're also pretty cushiony for like running.
Reds look like moon boots. I cannot get behind them, dude. I cannot.
I think they look like mid-90s Jordans.
I like the early 90s Jordans. I like the mid 90s Jordans.
Well, everybody's wearing
90s.
early 90s Jordans now.
Yeah, what is it, the Jordan 3s? I think it was. Like those were pretty cool looking, but like the mid 90s stuff, they look the same thing. It looked like they remind me of Marty McFly's shoes that like zip themselves up or whatever in freaking Back to the Future too. Like that's what I see when I see those.
I can confirm the Rad Runners are decent for walking the dog too.
The lap.
Yeah, the lap did 3 miles in the Savage Ones because I had no other choice than barefoot Innovates. Well, Innovates would be awful to run in.
Innovates are awful for anything.
Innovates seems so stiff to me. Like it looks like wearing a 2x4 on your foot. I just don't see
They're
like
lifters. That was Innovates were the very first pair of lifters I bought back in like 2013 at regionals, and I like them a lot. But talk about
them out of wood.
Yeah, I mean, they were so supportive, like a little too supportive. They were really, really stiff.
You don't get to use the word cobble very much these days. I just wanted to.
And you should, honestly. People should cobble more stuff together.
Noble trainers are straight blocks. I had one pair that someone had painted for me with like the Clydesdale Media logo and everything. And if I wear them to an event because I think they're just cool looking, like I am dying by like a third of the way through the day.
So my wife,
I went through a phase where I wore Hey Dudes, my Hey Dude sneakers, like every day for all the things for maybe a year and a half. And I'm talking like recently within the last 18 months. And my plantar fasciitis disappeared. I don't have it anymore.
See, opposite for me. I was in a Hey Dude phase where I wore them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
My back started to get worse because there's no support and there's no cushion.
Yeah.
And my back just started blazing.
I feel like all my foot muscles got a lot stronger because they had to be because there was no support.
Jen had Nobles and like she really thought she liked. And then like I bought her another pair and she couldn't figure out why her feet were hurting the entire time. She wouldn't let me. I don't need different shoes. So I just bought her some Nanos, just like the newest pair or whatever in a colorway I knew she'd like. She wore them one time and came back and promptly apologized to me.
David Johnson says,
and I was like, yeah, I know.
Strike Movement is my shoe of choice now. Drop sets for rope climbs. I have a nice pair of Strike Movement that I got at MFC because we got a deal for judging.
Mm-hmm.
And they're too narrow. They're like it's like wearing a Metcon to me. A Nike Metcon.
Yeah.
I got flippers for feet, dude. I need to have a wide toolbox. Like,
yeah. Tristan, my first semis as a coach, I wore a pair of barefoot shoes out in Cali, 25 to 30,000 steps a day. I was hurting.
Yeah. That's a terrible idea, Tristan.
Tristan says his are stretching out pretty well. Maybe I just haven't given them enough of a chance, but I wore them for like maybe a couple weeks of everyday Metcons, and they just never got to where I liked them.
Were they the easy ones?
Do they have a different kind?
Yeah, I think so. I have a pair of vintage Strike Movements from like 2016 before anyone knew who they were, and they are the most comfortable shoe ever. They don't have I don't wear them a ton because they're like a leopard print, but they're really cool. And I have wide feet and they don't bother me, but I think the newer ones, you're right, are a little more narrow.
Everybody said, hey, they have a wide toe box. Mm-hmm. And actually it's the lip of where the sole comes up to the side bites into the outside part of my foot.
Yeah. Yeah. You have sensitive skin. It's okay.
The Strike Movements are like the Savage One, but with arch support.
I'm just in the market for a new pair of shoes, so like I'm trying to figure out.
Good luck, Cory.
I know.
Like I said, CrossFit shoes are like Chinese restaurants.
I know.
Everybody has their favorite,
Yep.
and you never know what that is. I mean, you just don't know until you try it yourself. That's what sucks. That's why we all have 18 pairs of shoes.
What sucks is that I lost my nano discount whenever Reebok was like, we're not giving discounts to anybody anymore. But it used to be 50%. I could buy 2 pairs of shoes for the price of one. That's why my closet is littered with nanos up until last year. Once it went from 50% to 40%. And then as far as I know now, it's 0%, which is awesome. Thank you, Reebok. And that's when I bought my first pair of Savage ones, and I really, really, really like them. But I need new shoes. I don't need new shoes, but I need new shoes.
Go on Amazon and look, because I get guys nano, whatever the latest and greatest is, in like a really cool colorway, in like a 6.5 or a 7 for like $60. No, without fail.
Yeah, being a volunteer, I got a new pair of Reeboks every year. Forever, like through when they were the sponsor of the games. And then there's a Reebok outlet near us, and you could get them for $30 a pair.
The Reebok outlet by my house closed down.
Yeah, ours closed too. There is one down by Sten though, Andrew Sten in Cincinnati. They have a Reebok outlet.
Oh, good. I'll be there in a little bit, Andrew. Hang tight. You can go have lunch.
Kenneth has just bust out the Chuck Taylors. Great deadlifting shoe.
Yeah.
I'm down to get a pair of Vans. Like, I know a couple people that work out and like swear by them, but apparently you cannot climb a rope in them. It seems like it would tear them to shit, but
yeah. Who's climbing ropes anyway? I climbed a rope for the first time last Friday and thought my elbow was gonna rip out of it. Socket. It was not a good idea. But I did it 3 times.
This is terrible. Let me do it again.
I had to. Everyone else was like beating me. They were doing, I was doing like, I wasn't going to do jumping pull-ups. I'm like, I'm doing rope climbs. I just have to learn how to like lead with my left arm and not my right arm, but I couldn't do that.
Switch hit it, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you guys to ponder and give me your opinion on. Has Mat Fraser lost his luster as a 5-time champion? His content is not good. They're desperate, so they have him sit in front of the camera this week to talk about his highs and lows of competing. Like, hey, let's go back and relive the high school glory days. I'm just like, how the mighty has fallen. Like, he's just not relevant anymore. Like, Rich has stayed relevant because he is willing to speak his mind and say what's on his mind. I have no interest in watching a Mat Fraser video anymore.
He's so far removed from CrossFit. It is really just the bottom line. He's just removed from CrossFit. He was never really embedded in it anyway. All he did was compete. Like, he was very one-dimensional when it came to CrossFit. And so when you're finished competing, like, what do we expect, right? He was not going to be relevant.
You go look back at his early story when he said that once he found out that you could make money competing, he went and did that every weekend and made whatever it was, $50, $500 while he was in college, and then qualified for regionals, and then the rest of it's all. And he literally was just there to win. He was never really part of a box, never really part of a community or any other bullshit. He was a part of the community of elite athletes. Okay, that's not the same thing. By any imagination, Rich has been Rich since day one. He's been the same dude.
And all of his stories are the same. Like, it's almost like it's a script. If you ask him about this year and this event, he'll say the same story he said in every CrossFit documentary, the same story he said in his book, the same story that he said on 6 podcasts. I'm just like, there's nothing new.
Yeah. And are there even any like HWPO athletes anymore that are relevant?
The only one relevant right now is Kayla Lehman, and it's not for a good reason.
Right. Everybody knows who that dude is, and that's not because it's It's not because he was tearing it up.
Nobody's. I mean, I will give them, their programming is really good. I was probably in the best shape of my life when I was doing their stuff in my garage. But other than that, I mean, like from I'm not competing. I'm not like trying to win the CrossFit Games. I was just trying to stay fit. But I don't know what else they have to offer, really. I mean, are people still doing HWPO programming? Are gyms still doing it? Do they have affiliates?
So supposedly they dove headfirst into affiliate programming.
Okay.
And they're not really doing pro athletes anymore.
Okay.
Is the story. But I think technically Brooke is still on their roster. And that's the only person I know that's still there.
Mm-hmm. Vellner, right? Is Vellner still there?
Yeah, I guess.
Is Vellner still doing CrossFit? Really?
Well, I mean, he's only there because of Latondra.
Right.
He went there, but David John says O'Keefe was at WFP this past weekend.
Well, of course he was. Most of his athletes were there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I feel like O'Keefe is back more on the agent side of things and less on the HWPO piece.
Yeah.
Larry Young says, same for me. And really, when Annie pops up on IG more than once, I've been like, why am I still following? Tristan says, I knew he was whack when he put out his book, and a member of mine got it, and it had a workout of 500 GHDs.
That workout is called Rhabdo, by the way. That's the actual name of the workout.
I mean, I watched WFP this weekend a lot. Annie brought nothing to the table to me at the desk show. Katrin, who I've never been a fan of, Kat can attest to this, never been a Katrin fan. She was freaking awesome. I would watch her every show she did.
She spoke with authority. Like Katrin spoke with authority. She sounded intelligent. Like she brought something to the desk where every time they went to Annie, she looked like this.
So wait, which events did they call? Because every time I listened, it was time.
They didn't call. They were at the
in between
the desk, the post and pre-show stuff.
Got it. Because I only watched the actual events. That's why I never got to hear them. I'll have to go back and can I go back and watch or no?
Have they been uploaded to YouTube yet?
I don't know.
Well, they do have them for rewatch on their website with rewind and fast forward. I don't know if they have the desk show still.
Got it. I'd love to hear it.
I watched them all live because we had to do the Sunday night show and I didn't want to miss anything. And
yeah,
Katrin had a clip on Instagram I saw, I want to say this morning actually, where she was talking about her old running coach who happens to be
Hinshaw.
Yeah, Hinshaw, and like he had shared it, and like you could just see her talking about that, and even that was good. But
her and Seth going back and forth, and even when they disagreed, it was awesome.
They can both speak like coherently, and like Seth is an insanely good coach and programmer, so like he has a very good understanding of what's going on, and he is very, very good in front of a camera and on a mic. Kat apparently also is very good in front of the camera and on a mic. I would never have guessed that in a million years.
Because even her podcast, she's kind of awkward, right? I mean, it's probably because it's stuff that she's forced to talk about, and it's not really like just coming from her experience. You know how people, they obviously speak much more effectively when you know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, there was two sides to that table, that desk that they were at, and this side was way better than that side. All the way around.
Kenneth, this TFX commentary looks promising. I'll give you kinda.
I like the Chico, dude. I like the Chico, and you can't beat Chase. I mean,
he's great.
Those are the two I would give you.
Yeah. Oh no, look. Lauren seems like a really nice lady. I'm gonna leave that at that. I'm not a fan of her on calls or any of that kind of stuff, but she seems like she's cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Here's my and I said and I really pounded the desk on this on Sunday night. Caroline Prevost is a CrossFit nerd. That woman watches everything, and she talks really well. And she's a 3-time games athlete. Why has she not been given the opportunity to call a CrossFit event? She is someone who can actually tell you. She took 4th in the Open this year. She can actually talk to you about strategy that women use during events. What has Lauren done to be able to do that as a color commentator?
I have yet to figure that part out, Scott. That would be like me, who has once played backyard football, calling a Saints game.
Right.
Like, yeah, I caught a touchdown at my house one day after a crawfish ball. Okay, you should probably be in the booth calling the Saints game. Like, no, I should not.
When I started this podcast 5 years ago, it's 5.5 years ago, never thought we'd be talking crawfish bowl on this channel. But hey, we're here.
Here we are. I'm just saying, dude, like I played a lot of soccer from the time I was 32 until I'm 48 now, 45 or so, something like that. About 3 years ago, was the last time I played. Hey,
the Saints are one step below backyard football, so you're good, Cory.
Hey, bro, Derek Carr retired, and the entire city was like, "Thank God." But it'd be the same thing. Like I'm not going to end up on the MLS desk calling an MLS game. Like they're not going to send me to England to go call a Manchester United game just because I know a lot about the game and I played at about the lowest level you can possibly imagine.
Yeah,
I can't go grab somebody out of my affiliate and be like, "Hey, you should come call this play-by-play for the games." Or even for TFX or whatever. Like, it's just not a good idea. Yes, they have a basic understanding of CrossFit, but that's about where it stops.
I mean, when are we going to stop reaching into the same bucket of people?
Right. Pull up Tristan's comment.
Like we accidentally found Lucy Campbell, and she was awesome.
Yeah.
Now she's a little busy, so we need to find another lucky find like Lucy Campbell. Did you see Colten Mertens beat the time of the most dominating performance in CrossFit history?
As soon as you brought up Mat Fraser, I wanted to say
that was really my segue to this, that yes. Mat Fraser is no longer relevant, and the one most dominating performance he had in Friendly Fran at the 20 games, online games, where he beat everybody by 48 seconds in a 4-minute workout. Colten Mertens crushed it by 3 seconds.
And for no good reason other than the fact that he could.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
alert.
Sorry, Lito.
It's like a 5-minute video or 4-minute video. I'm assuming that when you turn it on and you see it's a 4-minute video and it has an introduction, you pretty much know.
That'll be your first clue.
Yeah. It doesn't take high-level math to figure out that he probably went faster.
And for no reason.
In his barn.
Matt did that.
First of the day.
Yeah. Matt did that, like, trying to make the games again. He did that, or as a part of the games, I guess that was that season. Colten just did it because he could. That's insane, dude. Absolutely insane.
He is so fit right now.
I can't wait. The games is gonna be fun to watch.
It's out on YouTube. The CrossFit Games. They filmed it as part of the road to the games, and then they took that excerpt and put out on their YouTube channel. It's 4 minutes and 5 seconds long. If you are going to check it out, it's a short. It's a break time at work. Less than that.
Oh, here we go. Mr. Patrick.
Larry Young, I missed that, but that's awesome. Colten is a beast. Tristan must be typing fast.
There's something. Yeah, there's something. He's fixing to come across with something.
If anybody's going to beat Matt at that, it's Colten, and I'm 0%. Well, it is really Colten's two best moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stands to reason.
He is the best in the world at thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups. Like, it's cool, but yeah, it checks out.
Yeah. That's awesome. Makes sense. Moving right along. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you watch Boys Interrupted this week?
No.
Well, during the Boys Interrupted, and spoiler alert if you have not seen it, it is hilarious. They actually judge each other on the WFP performances. They actually each go around the table and tell them what they need to get better at. And James Sprague is on. And the reason he's on is he had to pay off his debt for losing the Open in the punishment Open with the three guys. Yeah. And he did the one chip challenge in the middle of the podcast.
Oh, nice.
It is.
Is it good?
It is so good. It takes me back to my birthday a couple of years ago.
I remember.
He handled it way better than I did. I will say that. But, and if you've not seen my birthday show from a couple of years ago, I did the Hot Ones challenge and went all 10 wing sauces with a couple friends and family members. And I drank a whole half gallon of almond milk, and
that was a fun show.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
The older I get, I love spicy stuff, but the older I get, it does not love me. Not so much anymore.
So I subscribe to the Hot Ones sauces of the month. You get 3 a month. I have a stack of them. I'm trying to figure out what to do a show around where I can incorporate those sauces into some kind of interview fun thing. And maybe we do it at the age group CrossFit Games here in Columbus.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can do a couple shows from the basement with the sauces. But we'll see.
It's fantastic.
So speaking of shows real quick before we move on, I am stuck on what to do on my show anymore because I like someone. I don't want to talk about it. And I don't know what to do now. What do I do? I can't. I'm not on dating apps. They're all shut down and I'm having fun doing things, but I don't know what to do. I'm trying to get some other single people on to chat with. So if you're single and you want to come on my show tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, you know who's single and has a dating show? Lauren Khalil. Hey, do you want to come on my used to be dating show?
It's just funny. I've watched her dating show and there's so many parallels. It's not even funny. Like I'm wanting to get into tactical. Like I talked about that last year and everything else. It's just really kind of uncanny, the similarities and yet all the differences. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do for tonight because I don't want to jinx myself. So I'm not giving details. And I do have another little funny little dating story from a couple weeks ago. Like some guy stood me up twice and he gave really lame reasons for it. But other than that, I don't know what to talk about.
So the show is called Catching Feelings.
Yeah.
You've caught a feeling.
Yeah.
I think you have to go with that.
I know, but yeah, I guess so. I think
you knew that it was never going to be a long-standing dating show, right?
Correct.
The goal was to find somebody.
Yes.
And I think that you are very natural in talking to the chat and hanging out. Yeah. And it doesn't mean you can't give dating advice on things that you've learned in the process.
Sure.
And you could talk about other things in your life. Something always nutty and crazy happens in your life.
It's just, yeah, good point.
Whether it be dating, getting in the utility closet at the old gym, whether it, neighbors and dogs and
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I'll figure it out.
She took down the Christmas tree in her apartment because of the chat. You understand?
I know. I'm heavily influenced by my friends in the chat.
People know.
A vacuum.
Meredith says you can just shoot the breeze on your show.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I would eventually like to talk about this person too, but I just am not ready to do that either. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to jinx it.
There are not enough female voices in this space.
Mm-hmm.
And you are very good at this, and you should keep the show going in some form or format. And just talk about whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just warning people. Tonight might not be very exciting, or maybe I'll pull up some pictures that we wanted to go through. Everyone's very intrigued by my short hair and my fat pictures.
The short hair, the pregnant pictures, not fat pictures. Your pregnant is different. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've never laughed. I say I've never laughed. It's rare that I've laughed as hard as I did as when we were going through when we were swiping.
The live swiping. Yeah. I mean, I still have an account on Bumble. I'm just not actively on it, but yeah, we could do a little bit of that. I mean, there's still entertaining guys.
Jesus Christ, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Interesting.
People are insane. Like, I can't tell you, me and Jennifer sitting there watching you and like going through and like reading
are these for real?
And she looked at me, she goes,
I should go through my TikTok DMs, because I had like one TikTok video that talked about why guys don't approach me in public, and it got 47,000 views, and it has like 2,000 comments. And because of it, I've gotten all these random DMs from guys, and they're like selling themselves. They're like, "Hi, I'm 56. I live in Cleveland, and I have a car and I own my own home, and I like to vacation here, and I'd really like to take you out." It's really funny. So maybe we'll dive into that tonight. It's kind of funny.
All right.
The tail comes out from right here.
And you still got the band life that's kicking up.
Yes, I know. The thing is, I have band practice tonight after the podcast. So, and we didn't have it last week, so no real updates there. But I did sing karaoke like a champ 2 Friday nights ago. So
Ken, the utility closet story was on an old round table. And if you're new to the show, Kat will tell the utility closet story tonight on Catching Feelings.
It's well worth the time and effort.
Little teaser. Gosh, I'll have to remember all the details, but yeah. What a time in my life then that was. I was dating then too, if you remember. That was like a real struggle.
We will set this up as Kat is not a tall person, and she had to reach items on a tall shelf.
We just leave it there. That's all the setup you need.
Set it up, and then it gets so much better from there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I may have had a related medical issue around the same time, which just makes it all the more funnier. So yeah.
So with that, 5 p.m. Eastern time this evening.
Yeah, we'll do it 5 tonight. I got to put up a thumbnail. I'll get moving on that this afternoon. So yeah.
Catching Feelings with Kat. So check that out, and you'll get the utility story. You'll get some TikTok DM stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
And whatever else comes up in the chat. Like the chat is gold. Like these guys that hang out now, like there's lunches. I don't have anything, and I come in here and they start spitting out stuff, and I'm like, well, here we go.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and these guys are gold. I love like Larry and Ken and Kenneth and Jody. They're always here. Meredith. Lito's like one of my new favorites coming in from Europe every day.
Yeah, I love that.
So, but everybody here, Andrew Sten is a huge contributor to this show. And with that, guys, whoa, what?
Andrew should be on the show. He's single too. That's what we'll plan on doing maybe in another week or two. Hit me up, Andrew. Come on the show. We'll do it. Okay, sorry.
There you go. See? Lots of people in the chat you can have on the show.
Lots of ideas.
Look what happened. Like Cory became an every Wednesday guest now.
Yep. Thanks for
what I know about Cory is if I don't have nothing to say, I just pull the string.
Yeah.
I just pull the string and let him go.
I like talking.
5 o'clock, Ken. 5 p.m. Eastern. I'll be there till about 6.
All right. With that, guys, tune in to Cat tonight. And the rest of you get back to work, you knuckleheads. We are out of here. See you all next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.